Hey guys, welcome back. It's been a couple of weeks, and it's one thing after another. Um, I don't even know how to begin this one, but I think it's about just life in general and doing what you want and being with the ones you care about, how important that is. This past week, I lost my stepdaughter. So, um, the woman I've been with for 10 years. Prior to that, I was married for 25. But the woman I'm with now, I've been with for about 10 years. And her oldest daughter passed away last Saturday. I was working the marathon, and we found her Monday. I should say, the granddaughters uh, found her Monday. So she had been deceased for a couple of days. Now, I've been a cop for a while, and I've seen some stuff here and there, being in the service and being a police officer for several years. You get to see stuff, and I don't want to be too morbid here or depressing. I'm all right. The family's okay. It's part of life. It's the one equalizer is death. And I think, when someone's life is cut too short when they're young, I mean, that's pretty tough. Um, so I guess basically it comes down to we think we have all the time in the world, and then all of a sudden, you don't. So I think it's important to enjoy life when you have it, doing what you love to do with the people you love doing it with. You know, um, a lot of us, we do these games and miniatures and stuff, and sometimes I know we feel like maybe we should stop and give it up, but yeah, I think we're wrong about it. I think that we need to do this. I think that you need to do what you enjoy in life because that's why we're here, you know. I know our world's a little messed up and there's some crazy stuff going on here and there, but it's the quality of your life that counts, you know. What you love to do and who you love to do it with, family, friends, um, that's important. Right now, I put my Star Wars stuff away a little bit. I did a little bit. I mean, it's getting there, but I've been busy. Taking care of funeral arrangements, going back and forth to Rhode Island and that kind of stuff. And then my first day back to work, they were great. It was my first day back at work, and we have laptops in the cruises. So I just hit YouTube every now and then, during the breaks. And I started watching some Napoleonic videos, just get my mind off everything. And I realized just how much I enjoy painting Napoleonics, wargaming, talking to you guys, watching what you guys are doing. And that's important, so you're not alone out there, There's a lot of people. It's just too bad that we all can't get together and war game, but at least with the internet we can put our ideas out there over the air. People get to see what we do. We get to see what they do. Copy them. Was it imitation is the highest form of flattery, right? So that's pretty neat. I'm working on my cariouses. I'm gonna try and just take my time and do my thing and enjoy it. No rush. I know it's been a while. I think once I've got let me show you. I got a few here that I want to do. It's from that group that was over there. Those right there. So I'm finishing up these guys here. So I'm gonna do these. I got the Royal Horse. I'm still. It seems like I'm always working on these guys, but these, I believe, which ones were yeah? These three guys are the ones I just found recently, so they're going to be going with this wagon here. The Star Wars stuff is here. Almost finished with them. I needed a break from them. So basically what's going to happen is I'm just taking my time, doing my thing. As wherever my fancy takes me, that's what I'm going to do. Start working on P40 Warhawk, 148 scale. Gonna mess around with that, put that together for the bolt action crew. So that plane's all in the box right here, down here. I just took a break from that, but there it is right there. So I'm working on that just a little bit. So that'll be her right there. So I'm doing that. So I got a few projects going on at the same time. So now what I'm doing right here is I'm just putting a base coat of Citadel's, what is that? Morn Fang Brown. Where did they come up with these names? Morn Fang Brown, okay. That's gonna be one of the silliest companies out there, I mean, according to what John said at the hobby shop was Citadel came up renaming their paints because Army Painter stole some of their names and they didn't copyright the names, so wow. So they had to go and change all their paint names, which kind of messed me up a little bit, I mean, I know I'm half French and half Irish and all that good stuff, but I think sometimes I'm smarter than I look. But it's interesting, they can't just say brown, light brown, medium brown. Nah, we gotta call it Mornfang brown. All right, and maybe we can call it fat brown or something. Darker brown. So yeah, it's interesting. So what I'm doing now is I'm painting my Curiouses, and this squadron, this squadron, or this company, squadron, is going to be on the brown horses. I don't know if I'm going to keep them being brown, but we'll see. Usually I like putting them on white horses, but I'm looking at all the paintings I see from Waterloo and the squares, and a lot of the horses, they're mixed. They're brown, they're blacks, and they're whites. So I'm wondering if I should do a custard, well, not get my ass kicked, but put one company on brown horses, the other company on black horses, and another company on white horses, giving me my squadron. So I'll have at least 3 to 4 companies or squadrons for my regiment. Wow, I really need to get my act together here. I don't know why I keep falling back to infantry, but I do. So what I'm doing is, this is almost the end of my brown pot here, the Mornfang brown. So I've added some water to it to give me a little bit more paint. So that's why you don't see me diluting much more than what it is already, because I'm trying to get the most out of this paint pot. So what I've done is I use one of these little, water droppers, and I put it in the pot itself, shook it up, and it's not too bad. It's gonna seem I'm gonna have to go to the hobby store, and what I like to do is get permission from the hobby stores if I can do a video, bring you guys in and show you what these stores are all about, and the stores I have in my neighborhood and around the area. So what I'm working on right now is I got 16. I have 16 Curiouses that I'm working on right now, and that's going to equal my squadron, and 3 to 4 squadrons are going to equal the regiment. And I've got quite a few of these buried all over the place. So this brown seems to be taking okay to the figs. And what I do is I prime them with this basic, cost me 98 cents, $1. But it's you got to be careful though. You gotta make sure the cap is the color you want, because this basic stuff that comes in gray, comes in black, comes in white, and the white and the black you got to be careful, because cap is, if it's gloss, it's not primer, it's regular paint. So you got to be real careful about that. I destroyed a ship I was working on by gloss painting it gray, battleship gray, which I wanted to prime it gray. So I ended up like it really messed it up, and I had to kind of strip it, but it was never the same. So it's a cheap primer, which is what I primed these Curiouses with. I primed it gray. So I primed it gray, and now I'm doing this Mornfang brown. And what I'll do after that is I will do that, this army painter, and I'll paint the dip on that. And then after that's done, it does leave a gloss coat on this when you use that army painter stuff. So you got to be careful about that. If you're gonna use it, if you like your figures to be in flat military colors, then you're gonna have to. And this is probably the best product that I found, is the Testors Clear Lacquer. So this actually puts a pretty good protective coat on it, on a base coat, and it also dulls it down. Unless you like the toy soldier effect, you know, having them glossy. I know when I was young, when I first started this, I used to love that. And then my best friend went into the Coast Guard. He kind of turned me on to the military flats. Tamiya came out with the flats, so we started using Tamiya products. However, when you use the Tamiya products, because they're a water-based paint, it would chip off the old Airfax Essie paints, not paints, soldiers, your figures, so it'd peel off. So you needed to find a way to keep that on, and usually you varnished them. You know, you put a varnish on the. What do we? Yeah, there we go. So it would put a varnish on it, and it had that gloss. So what I ended up doing was I would stain the plastic figures first and then paint over them. So that way the Tamiya paints would actually stick to that rubberized plastic that the Airfax figures and the Essie figures were made out of. And which actually, it lasted a long time. A lot of my figures, which are put away, I brought out that one time when I did that video, were still actually in pretty good shape. I mean, the bayonets and, you know, the rifles were chipped and stuff, but other than that, they weren't too bad. So here I am, getting this troop done. We'll get this all taken care of, and then now I do this assembly line project here, and what this, if you have the time and you just want to relax, you do this assembly. So you line up your figs that you want to paint, and you start painting them, and by the time you get to the last figure, your first figure is already dry. And that's the old assembly line. You know, you want to get it out there, you want to get these things done. It does become tedious, you know, and that's why I think I bounce around from stuff to stuff, because you don't want to get bored. You know, it's a great hobby. You want to keep yourself passionate, you know, impassioned with what you're doing, so it doesn't bore you anymore. You know, like, it's been a while since I painted the Napoleonics. You know, I've been trying to get them out of the way, and it's like, oh, if you're looking at it like that, then it's not going to be fun anymore. So, you gotta learn to have fun and enjoy what you're doing. You know. So we had some relatives. Whoop. So my son-in-law came up for the funeral, and it's my old lady's middle daughter's husband, and he's in the army. He's a good kid. He's a warrant officer now. He's done a couple of tours in Iraq and Iran and all that neat shit, and he works on computers and stuff. He's kind of behind the lines, but their base got mortared a lot, you know. So thank God the kid didn't get hurt. And well, every time they come up to visit us, they take stuff from the house. You know, they take like decorations. They take the wife. We go to Home Goods. We go to TJ Maxx and we buy some stuff, and and it's like forever buying her stuff. Well, I'm not going to complain, because, you know, it keeps her occupied, keeps me in my hobby. So it's kind of like mutual destruction.